Okay, we're live. So, for everybody out there, this is the first time that we've done anything on technology for races. I have Mike Myers on here, a good friend of mine that we work together on our races. Mike had the opportunity to go over to summer sports event, which is in Claremont. They do triathlons, they do running events, and so forth. They use race results, which is a timing machine. Mike had the opportunity to check it out with Fred. We also go through a contact with a person on LinkedIn, and she helps us out. The setup is pretty good. So I'm going to let you talk about what you saw over at summer sports events and what you thought. So you got it, Mike.
Good afternoon. Uh, like Craig said, we went over to a couple of events over in Claremont. There was a Blueberry 5K and then a couple of marathon 5K multi sport events that we've been over to. Summer Sports is in their 37th year uh, in 2020 of doing multi sport event management from timing to marketing, really a first class organization. And the owner, Fred Summer, took some time. I asked if I could come by and talk to him about their race timing methods, how they do it, what they do, and advice that he could give us as we're starting our own timing here. As Craig said, they use the Race Results 12 uh, software. It comes, for our races, for the running races that we're going to be doing, it will be a passive machine. It's got a 5000 S series decoder, basically a box that's at the start finish line, and it's connected to a passive ground antenna that is uh, folds out. It ends up being uh, 27 feet wide, and that will read the transponders that are on the bibs to get our start and finish time for each race participant. And the method that we're using, Craig is using Run Sign Up as the race registration site, and then we're exporting that data, names, ages, and bib numbers into the race results software, so we can coordinate the runner and the bib number and the time, start and finish time, and how that relates to the age group categories for both men and women.
Now, we talked before we got on here about the technology part. And my beef with different timers that I had in the past is they print out the results. Well, that's passe right now. You and I might talked about the having a link that Race Results has, so somebody with their phone can look at their results right from the phone. There's no more printing out. There's other places that have a kiosk. We can set that up where they go over to a little laptop or like a Chromebook and they can look everything up. So we had talked about instead of dumping it into Run Sign Up, have it come out on race results, which has a URL to do that. Do you think it's a pretty easy setup to load it that way and have them use that URL for their to get the results?
Yes, and as you said, there's two ways that'll happen. At race day live, there will be a kiosk with a laptop and a monitor that you can see and or search by bib number for your time if you don't have a smartphone. If you do have a smartphone, you can log into the race results online feed and see the results there live as well.
Yeah, I
Now
think.
you won't
Go
see
ahead.
that until you cross the finish line, right? There won't be anything available until you actually finish the race. But as soon as you finish the race, those results will be available for you, either at a kiosk there on site or on your smartphone, wherever you'd like to log in from.
Yeah, because previously, when a few years ago with the printouts, I'd have all these people coming up. Do you have the printout? Do you have the printout? And this way, they're on their phone. It's a lot easier. The kiosk is good if someone does, like you said, if they don't have a phone, so they can go over and check it out. Um, they don't have to really print anything out. The other thing that I'm looking forward to with race results is that the age group. So we could, and correct me if I'm wrong, we can shoot it into two Chromebooks, and then we can have somebody there to check the age group. So they come up and they give their name, the person looks at it. And I believe summer sports events had the same thing. They had two people, two Chromebooks, they looked at it, and they could say, James Brown, whatever, third place 5K or whatever. And it makes it a lot easier. They turned around, they took the age group award, gave it to the person, and they're off to the races. So I think that should work fairly well with race results. You think we'll have a problem with that, or?
Well, no, I think going paperless is the efficient, effective way to go. Everybody has smartphones now and the technology, so logging on to get their data should be very easy for each participant. And as you said, in capturing the age category, first, second, third place awards will be very easy doing it online in real time there as finishers come across.
Well, I think that'll help a lot in terms of the efficiency, because what we're doing with our race, we're having a generic age group. We used to be, and race directors are getting away from, like 30 to 39, 40 to 49. What they're doing now is putting the name of the event on the medal and then putting first place age group. So there's no confusion. Nobody's taking the wrong age group number or anything like that. Much, much faster. Now, one other thing, and Mike, we have experimented with this. Right now, we're on StreamYard, and I use StreamYard for a lot of other things. So we can have actually 4 people on the StreamYard. And, Mike, we talked about streaming at the start and finish, where we have it could be a laptop with our cam recorder and turned around where the people are coming in. And then we can stream it to one of our sites. We can tell people, hey, if you want to watch your grandson or your daughter run, check it out on this live stream URL, and they can see people coming across the finish line, which we're going to set that up for the race. Now, the next step, which is the tricky one, is when I sent you the link to get on here, was it that difficult to maneuver to get on? Or did you have any problems?
Oh, no, just one click. They ask you, do you want to do audio and video, or one or the other? And that's it. It brings up a preview screen so you can see your video, make sure your hair's good and everything.
That's why I wear a hat.
What everybody's going to see. And then you push a button and you enter they call it enter the studio, and then you're live. Very easy. So
our theory, I think, is that what if you had, your phone like this, and you placed it on, let me see, a stand at the aid station, okay? You get the link, you turn it on like you did for yours, and then it's video. It's sending out on a stream to a particular Facebook page or YouTube, where people can watch everybody going across that rest stop aid station. They can wave, all that stuff. So the theory is, since I can do 4, actually I can upgrade and do 10. But if we had 3 stops with 3 phones, we could see people on the course in 3 locations. And I know we talked about that. We still have to experiment, but the start finish, I think, is going to be the easiest way to start. Would you agree with that? Or?
Oh, yes, certainly.
Yeah, I think that we have to test at the rest stops. The only thing I think is maybe the internet, but the races that we have, I think the internet's pretty good with that. I have a projector where we can do if we don't have a kiosk, we can also project the results onto the screen from the projector. So the technology is really, really getting sharp where people now can watch other people run from their home, recliner, so to speak, and watch the race. I'm going to be at the triathlon race at Lake Lanier this Sunday. I'm volunteering, and I'm going to try the StreamYard there and see how it works. And hopefully people can see it. But on the technology part, what else you talked about passive. They have an active one. How is that different?
Well, the active, rather than using a box that's connected to a ground antenna, physically connected with a cable, the active system uses an active extension. Basically, it's an antenna that could be anywhere within 40 or 50 feet of the box. And it uses, rather than the transponder strip that's on the bib, this would use an Active Pro transponder. These would be used more likely in an event like a bicycling event or a swimming event, where they could be, attached to the runner and be more secure than just the paper bib.
So Fred uses that for the triathlon, I believe, the active one.
That's correct.
Yeah, so he has the active. I know if anybody looks at his events, he's got, the shirt, the tie, the suit, the whole thing. He has running events by himself, duathlons, and all the other events that you can possibly have in a 4-hour period. So he uses the active for the triathlon. So it gets the transition is when the swimmer comes in and then goes to the bike and then goes to the running. He captures those splits with the active one, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, and then people can see what their splits are, which is very, very important. So people who are training know exactly which part they have to improve. Sarah, when she was talking about her Augusta one this past Sunday, she has to do better with her cycling. She's good on the swimming and the running, but cycling, she sees her split. She knows where to improve her training. The race results, I think the software is pretty good. Is there anything special that you liked about the software? Was it easy? Did it have all the bells and whistles to help you out?
I think so, yeah. And there are different levels, right? I mean, it could go from the basic level that it's doing nothing but timing, start finish at a single point. It can have, if you had multiple decoders and antennas, you could get split times with that, turnaround times with that. You could get more metrics. It is also a registration site. If a race director chose to use that capability, it's really nothing different than Run Sign Up in that regard.
I like the Run Sign Up. Some of the big races, they use their own website. The only thing with the website is you really have to push it out. With Run Sign Up, it does the Google Analytics, the SEO. You can put Facebook. You can just one click push it out to all your Facebook friends. And it has an analytics as far as when you go into Run Sign Up, it will tell you how many people viewed it for the whole week or each day. It has a graph. And it'll also tell you where the people who are viewing your race, where it's coming from. So I have a lot from Facebook, Linktree. You'll see in the bottom there, I have all our races on there. And it really gives you good analytics. There's a whole lot of different segments that you can do in there. It's not worth it. I don't think it's not worth it to have your own website and pay for a website developer. No offense to the website developers, but for me, I don't have time for that. And, uh, the graphics and so forth, it makes active look like chopped liver, so to speak. So when you on the setup and everything, we're going to have a mat. Now the mat connects to the box.
Yes. Yeah.
How
With
many?
there will be, there are 8 separate antennas in the fold up mat, and each antenna has a cable, an RG58 cable that connects into the box.
All right, so it's not a real difficult system to hook up, right?
Correct.
Uh, Before our race, I could send out the URL to everybody so they have an idea and they're not asking us, 50,000 questions. Where are the results? The next question I usually get is, where are the pictures? And they don't understand that the pictures take a couple days. But results, I think like after maybe a minute or two, by the time they rest up, take a little water break and so forth, the results should be up there, right?
Correct.
All right. So I think they'll be happy about that. But as far as extending the technology, the Facebook Live at the start and finish is a go. But like I said, we're going to also try and do the one at the hydration stations. Why? There's a couple good things with that. One, that people get to see their friends running by the rest station. Also, with our Marathon Mania, we can see who's out on the course, who's left over as far as, last 5 runners. We can also, since it's out and back, now if we wanted to, we could put a box and a mat there for the split, correct?
We could, yes.
Yeah, and then that way, not that anybody cheats, but we would know everybody that came to that position and then turned around, and we could see them at the other 3 stops. So we're having like a 10K half marathon and marathon. So we could have 3 phones there and recording live those people that are running. And that's, I'm really looking forward. I hope that works. We're going to try it. And it should be, if it works, it should be exciting. And I think we might be the first to do that. Now, there are people doing the Facebook Live at the start and finish, which is a lot easier, but this is going to be a little bit different to set up because the person at the hydration station has to know how to get the link and open it up. And that's why I asked you about the link, that it's not that difficult to do. So
I suspect any child over the age of probably 6 can make this walk and talk. Those of us that are over 40 have a little bit of technology challenge, but kids today will be able to get that in a minute.
Right, like me, if I look at it, I don't know if it's my my eyesight or whatever, but the youngsters, they should be able to handle it very well. It's kind of like that show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? So
Right.
I think it,
No, I'm not.
so I think it'll work. And we're like we had mentioned before, we're looking at a couple more races in Pasco County, which will be up on Run Sign Up, which is on the link tree there. So I think we're going to give it a go. We'll come back at you here shortly, next week or the week after, and give you an update on what we're doing with the StreamYard at different locations. So I think we'll end it there. I'll see you, Mike, and I'm going to turn this baby off. Okay.